are now tuned into the truth frequency.
Your protection from deception. This is Truth Frequency Radio.
When you finally boil it all down, magic is imagination. We are moving into an age of manifestation. Things become actually less material, more ethereal. The golden dawn is when we awaken to this new station of life. What you think becomes real quicker. Regain our imagination, regain our inner child, and let that inner child out.
My name is Frank Castle, founding member of the music group Heist and New York City Neo Shaman. After a serious injury sidelined my career in 2013, I decided to set out on an adventure to search for myself with the help of the plant medicine ayahuasca. What I discovered waiting for me was something I could have never prepared for. It was time for me to become something more, someone more. It was time I became fearless. Shine as my heart beats a rhythm with space and time. When the light starts to shine inside your third eye, you awake to the knowledge that you never die. What is up, everyone? My name is Frank Castle, and I'm your sorcerer supreme of every Saturday night, and I'm here with my etheric translator, Paula Milo.
Hey, everyone.
What is up, everyone? Big shout outs to Chris and Cherie. Without you guys, we wouldn't be here doing this. We love you so much. For everybody out there, happy 420, happy 421 Earth Day. Shout outs to everyone in the chat room. Hey, is there a show on before us? I don't know if there is. Because I was on earlier and I didn't know what I was listening to. But sending my love out to everyone. Don't forget to sign up. Get the app.
Get a subscription.
Check out some of the stuff out there that we're offering. Check out
on YouTube.
On YouTube.
And Facebook.
Check it out on youtube.com/Frank Castle Fearless. You get the first 12 episodes for free right now. All my meditations, all the videos that I even think are interesting, that have enough truth in it to hold you down for a little bit. And everything else. Heist music, HEISTCLICK. There's a whole playlist there of music. Just go listen, check it out. If you enjoy what you're listening to, get a subscription. You get everybody, all the other great hosts as well.
Yes.
And you could listen anytime you want. You could download it. You could take it with you. I like that. Take it with you. Remember, wherever you are, make it TFR. Okay. It's here, really quick. I want to talk about this. I'm going to be starting very soon having a Fearless clothing line, Fearless posters, Fearless. What I'd like to ask is for anyone that hears this to send in artwork. If you have any artwork that you'd like to see on T-shirts, posters, and or anything, just anything. Be like, this would be great with the Fearless, right? Normally, we were going to ask just for if you have pictures of the deities like Anubis or Ra or Sekhmet or any of them, or any of the characters or anything you hear from listening to the show. And we were going to try to stylize that up and make it a T-shirt. We're going to give the money to the artist of whoever gets picked. We're going to pick a whole bunch. This isn't about me just putting out a line of clothing or posters and getting paid. This is about getting you paid and me just running it right through for you.
Well, you're teaming up with someone, aren't you?
Yes, I am. I'm teaming up with the Om Society. My man Serge, Ryan of the Bird Tribe. It's my dude. Give me that. Thank you. Mm-hmm. I am super excited about this. I want artwork from everyone because this is about everyone. I want your ideas. If it's just sitting around, you got something cool, throw it out at me, and I'll push it up the line. I'll get you paid for it. We're not trying to take anybody's stuff. We're trying to start a society, a new community, And we've heard everything from everyone before, how we're going to try this and start it. We are doing it. This has been going on for quite a while. A place where you can go and get what you need, find what you need, talk to whoever you need. Open communities that can't be, infiltrated with nonsense.
Yeah, it's safe space where you can just talk about what you feel, what you believe.
So if you could send it in to the real Frankie Fearless, gmail.com. And I'll check it out. Let's just take a look. I'll talk to each and every one of you. And anything that gets picked, we'll work it out. Okay. This is a big week.
Was a big week.
Yeah, it was definitely intense.
Yeah.
Lots of stuff to talk about. Shout outs to William Whitecrow, Quantum Quest on Truth Frequency Radio. I did his radio show the other day. I absolutely love this man. Shaman from way back.
Awesome.
I had the pleasure to just the conversations. I don't have another. It's usually Chris and I or Paula and I just going for it, trying to figure out the information. We're not Googling this stuff and YouTubing it. Well, when we're doing our
down in it, we're
experiences,
receiving the information.
We don't have anyone to go to sometimes, and we hit the wall ourselves. It's not always, they got it going. We're going blind most of the time. We don't know what she's going to show us, what ayahuasca has for us, what the DMT molecule will bring us. We have no clue.
Or what entity is going to decide to pop in or out.
Absolutely, and get involved.
Yeah.
Stake claim in the situations. Excuse me. So it was awesome to be able to just talk freely with him. Mm-hmm. It's like, when you meet another shaman or anyone like us, you get into a judgment-free zone.
Yeah.
I noticed that as we were talking, and I can't wait for the show to pop up. I'm so excited. The conversations get so deep, and just him going, yeah. So that's what they're, you're speaking to them. This is what they're saying.
Right.
You're using discernment. I'm like, wow, it's like talking to an older version of me.
Right.
But I was interested, like I was going to Comic-Con or something.
Of course.
I was super excited.
Judged. You were actually having a conversation about this stuff. There was
so
no judgment.
No judgment at all. So special shout outs. And check out his show, Quantum Quest. I think it's on Sundays. I'm not sure. There's a little bit of rearrangement going on, I think. And that's a good thing sometimes. So I also did another show yesterday. My friend Salty, Salty Talk Radio. Great guy. Love this guy. Had an experience in Florida where we went and swam out into the Tampa Bay. I'm deathly afraid of sharks. And at that time, it was horrible. Well, he took me in the water at night, and I was able to get over my fear.
Yeah.
But there was actually sharks in the water, and people were screaming, "Get out of the water!" It was right after there was some kind of big storm, and the water was very murky. And they were like, "This is when they feed," and you can see them from. We were on the third floor of our. When we had the room, it was just right outside facing, so you just look down and you could see it from up there. But we were all dummies running into the water, so I scared everyone that day. But shout outs to Salty. But here's something I wanted to mention. Now, I just did one show, and I just did the other. Now, I love Salty, and we go way back. But I used to do International Heist Radio Show. It was more of a blend of all kinds of shows. And everyone loved that we would have porn stars on and all kinds of crazy characters, UFC fighters and everything. But I left that kind of stuff behind because all I found inside of that, a lot of the people, and I met some great people. It's a weird, lonely spot because I had to fire people for, like, we'd start working with the porn stars, and right away everybody wanted to be in porn, talk to the porn stars. Like, it just got out of control within 1 second. And as soon as we get that under control, everybody wants to be an MMA fighter. And then you're losing people constantly. And then the heist, everybody's going in 6 different directions at once. And I'm like, hey, guys, this is our show where we bring it to us. We're not trying to become them. You're interested? Okay, good. But on air, and we used to do a 3-hour show. This was like a religious event. People would show up from the neighborhood and just watch it and go, oh, this is crazy. And I felt like it was just pure bread and circus. Now, years later, I far removed from that kind of radio. I mean, this is a complete different thing altogether. I don't even really talk about it unless I talk about like the demonic, satanic stuff in Hollywood and stuff. But so I did the radio show, and I got a really negative vibe from everyone but Salty. And I'm not poo-pooing on it because I thought about this and how I was very blue afterwards. I waited to talk to Salty. And then I got on air. It was great. As soon as I hear his voice, it was fantastic. And then everyone else started beaming me with, okay, so why didn't you guys tell us beforehand we needed to smoke DMT before this guy came on? And these were friends of mine that just kept smashing and smashing and smashing.
Right.
And I'm like, hey, listen, you guys are running this like a clown show, not his show, not Salty's show, but everything else that was involved. And I realized this was my old stomping ground.
Old way of life. Yeah.
Right. And all right.
Can't go back.
That's what I'm getting at.
Can't go back.
I love Salty and I love his show, but I don't think anything I say or my presence to hang out on a show where there's multiple people on the show, I no longer have a stake in the fun. Like, hey, come on and let's talk about the thing that happened in the news today. Like, I can't do that.
Right.
Like, I have no interest.
Right.
In playing a game show. I have no interest in, and this has nothing to do with my buddy. His show was awesome. It was the mixture of everything else, you know. There was a lot of people calling in and a lot of people. It was just a very negative vibe. But I remember I used to do this show with it's Shannon Burke in Florida. He has a show, and they used to bring me on like once a week and talk conspiracies. And all these guys, and this was when I just started. I was still living in Westchester, and I was getting thrown out at the time, and it was a major FM radio show down in Tampa. So I would just call in, and they were so disrespectful to me. And I'm not butthurt about it because I'm more nutty than all of them.
Right.
I'm the rock star, but I'm watching all these people try to be a rock star. Do you know how hard that is to watch people flop on their faces consistently and join in with the guys, and then all the people that are drinking alcohol are telling you what a drug addict you are,
right? And
how weirdo, get out of here, you trippy hippie, and
just do you? Yeah.
No, wait. Now, years later, everything we talked about has been confirmed. All that conspiracy stuff from back in the day, we all know who did what and what's going on. Everything's coming out, so we're kind of vilified. But at the same time, I feel like I'm getting in a boxing ring sometimes and just taking punches because I'm going back to the old, like. I feel like I should be in the trenches and go back and go, hey, guys, check this out. But all I get is like tomato in my face.
Can't go back. You can't go back. You can't. Once you've ascended, you can't go back down the.
Well, I found myself cursing like a fish, like just just letting it fly within 5 minutes of just getting a little pissed off. So it was instant going back to the way it was.
When I came home from work and you were finished with the interview, I immediately felt the energy around you.
Yeah, completely changed.
No.
Guys on my buddies on Twitter were slamming me pretty hard. And I'm like, y'all realize we get together once a year. And when you talk like nasty to someone, like people forget. You know, I think I'm a shaman now. There's a niceness, weakness thing. I think there's like, I have to remove myself from this area completely because this is where I'll get in trouble. This is where I can't stay in bounds. This is where I'll say to someone, hey, why don't you grow up and go F yourself? And I'll be in instant trouble. Instantly, it'll be like, look what he did. Look what he said. So, guys, I have this duality thing occurring here where I can't go back. I'm not comfortable there no more. No. Like I spoke to Salty afterwards. I didn't say anything about the negativity or nothing because it wasn't him and it's not his show. His show is actually awesome and he's one of the smartest guys I know. And he's fun, but sometimes you get, jerks that hang around. They're not really as fun, but I want to bring him up to me now. Like, see, I can't go back.
Yeah, but you want to,
but I could bring him up.
Yeah. So
I know that sounds weird, guys, but just think about what you go through and then how you could relate it with what I go through it too. People think I'm nuts. I talked to Chris the other day. We had the best conversation in the world and he blew my mind in the middle of it. And I went from being that guy, the FearLess Shaman guy, to his student. And then we both went to complete students of the whole thing. And it completely freaked both of us out that I was holding my chest. So,
but that's beautiful. I love it when that happens.
I like it when that happens. I don't like it when the other stuff happens. So my thing is, all right, when you go down this path, the fearless path, each person has their own version. You lose stuff.
You do.
Right? But you feel like, like I lost it. But did you really lose it?
No. You never really lose it. You forget you have it.
Or is it that you shed what you don't need, and then, I still have love? Like, I'm not hating. But believe me, if I was hating, right now I would be saying names. I'm one of those guys that will just take charge. And I'll yell at people and tell them I'm coming to get them. But I'm not like that no more.
You're vibrating at different frequencies.
It's completely insanely different.
You can't be out of sync.
So please understand, everyone out there. This is my point. All right, now we get right to the point. It's everyone's going through something now. We're all going through these weird moments where we don't know if left and right is correct, up and down, who we can trust anymore. I just want to be with my friends and, I don't know, have a couple drinks, smoke some pot and see what happens. And no, instantly it's still complete different things. But I could have love from you from here and just go on. Right. And those who need or wish to kind of chill with me will make a safe space and come up here with it.
Yeah. And that's fine. And if
that's
if they can't make it, that's fine too. You can't be it's like being out of sync. You can't be out of frequency for too long. It's uncomfortable. We don't like it. The old ways and the old life and old way of thinking, we preach every week. You have to rise up, rise above it, push through it, get through it, learn from it and move on, because then you rise in vibration and frequency. So it's very hard to go back. It's like when you're doing really good on a diet and then you decide to cheat.
You quit smoking.
Yeah,
and
you
go
quit
back.
smoking and you go back. It's like it can't happen. It's too hard. You don't feel welcome in that space anymore. And we're both going through that. My old life, I was visited by two of my very dear friends from my old job. And I love them both so much. And I hadn't seen them in a year. And they came and it was like no time had passed. It was wonderful.
Yes.
But the jokes were, hey, come back to work to work there. And I was like, I could never do it. I'm not the person I was then.
Even if I wanted to.
Even if I wanted to, I can't do it.
This is what they meant by plugging back into the matrix.
Yes, exactly.
You cannot do it. It doesn't feel right.
No, it doesn't feel natural. And I love them. They love me. We'll always be in each other's lives, but I can't go back to that way of thinking.
So
I can't
remember that.
Go back to that.
Right? Anything that you rise above and you're vibrating higher, and those that you were close to can't do it, and you can't go back down, don't feel bad anymore.
No, don't feel bad.
All right, there's a sorrow that goes with it. I miss people too, but you know what? Now that I'm here, I miss you guys. Like, I miss being around you. Yeah. I miss Saturday night sometimes, and I'm like, I just look at Paula, and she knows. Like, I miss my crew. You guys know who you are, right? And
all of you.
All of you. And that's it. I love everyone else, but we just can't get along, right? Like, if we were hanging out,
it's hard.
Would you rather have the issues and problems? All right, if I sat around with some of my friends, they would fight with me within 20 minutes. They'd be like, dude, there's something wrong with you. Or they would just tell me to shut up. Right. They'd be like, dude, nobody wants to hear that garbage. And then fist fights would break out because of where we are.
Then don't be around people that don't want to hear that garbage. That's the answer.
Right, exactly. Well, see, and I'll
feel to them.
And on my drama would be, why won't they hear me? Why won't they hear about the truth? Why don't they want to hear about this? No, because nobody wants to have anything they don't want to hear.
Pushed down their throat. They don't want to have anything thrown at them.
And I don't want to hear, yo, what's up, bro? What's up, B? I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear it. I don't care how the Jets are doing. I don't care. They never did nothing for me. All right, it's fun to have the enjoyment factor, but if that's what's running your life, I always thought it was weird. I knew that separation was the key weapon used against us when the jocks started playing fantasy football, and I turned around and said, "You guys," and I'm a jock, but I'm a nerd. So I played all the nerd games as well as did all the jock things.
You're just
And
a weirdo.
they would say to me, "Oh, what are you doing? Playing Magic the Gatherings or Dungeons and Dragons?" And I'm like, "Well, I'm trying not to get stabbed on the streets tonight, so yeah, I'm staying in." But now they have fantasy football, and I'm like, "Yeah, y'all know fantasy football is Dungeons and Dragons, right? It's live Dungeons and Dragons. Your characters, you collect a team, and then they play during the week, and then you put their percentages and points together, and then you got your characters,
It's the same
and then
thing,
they
yeah.
create points for you to win." Dungeons and Dragons. Welcome to the team, guys.
But it's all the same because the point is to get to the other side.
My point is you guys are enjoying your fantasy football, but I'm a nerd. Separation
Right.
for doing this.
Right.
All right.
Keep everyone separate and apart.
Yes.
because
Check it
it's
out.
easier that
Everything.
way.
Culturalism is separation,
Separation.
right? It is not your
Separate
friend.
and apart. Yep.
So if you go, look, all right, I know it's easier to look at someone and describe them, but when someone asks a silly question like, well, what is it? What does he look like? I go, well, he's a human being.
Who?
Anyone first.
Oh,
because
the
it's
entities.
racist
Okay,
if I go,
get it.
that's a black man. Why has he got to be black? Well,
Because
he's
in my
black,
story, he's black. That's
right?
the way
That's
it is.
just the way it is. I'm not
Yeah.
trying to push that or why are you assuming the gender of this thing?
Yeah.
And it's like, look, man, I'm just trying to get through it. We don't have the words for it. We don't understand yet. Everything's becoming a separate thing, right?
Yes, separation.
We get it. You're separate. You're original. But check it out. Separation is the key weapon they use against us. So when I tell you I am, we are, you go, okay, I am. Yes, well, we are.
We are.
So it's a connection. You have to remember that at all times. You can be Paula, Frankie Fearless. You know, I could be Heist Click. You could be Superman, whatever. We're still connected. So you can't go there.
I need a cool name. I don't know. Frankie Fearless. That sounds so awesome.
We'll get your name.
I love it.
Now it's time for my disclaimer.
Oh, boy. Here we
This
go.
is the story of my journey and my journey alone. And Paula, too. I don't suggest you try this at home alone. That is, unless you're ready. Then, by all means, proceed. But first, we suggest you find a reputable shaman who knows what he or she is doing and travel safe in the love and the light. And remember, the universe rewards bravery.
Are you going to tell them what happened after the show when you were on Salty Show? A couple of hours after?
I guess it's...
Sitting in the living room?
Yes, I guess we could do this. So after the show, I felt
The chat room, folks.
I felt like my energy was just sucked out of the room,
Yes.
completely drained. And didn't I not say to you? I jumped on the bed and I was like, "Get over here and help me out, clear me out." That sounds funny. That
Get
doesn't
over
sound
here
right.
and help
Get
me
over here
out.
and help me out.
All right, Frank.
No, but we do these things called clearings on each other.
You asked me to.
They're
clear
like psychic surgeries. I swear, it is the
I don't know
weirdest.
if that's what it is. I think it's just moving energy around in your body, but
Well, that would be a physician of that, would it not be? That would be the exact
you make
definition
everything
of
sound
that.
so good.
All right, so I asked her to pretty much wave her hands over me, check the energy, and within moments, this thing was like, my skin felt like it was wiggling, like there was an insect or something underneath my skin, like a worm traveling from one side of my head to the other. I was going, oh, it's right there. And she goes, as soon as I felt it poke out my left eye, like right above it near my eyebrow, I said, there. She goes, there it is. And she knew exactly where it was.
I said, open your mouth, and you started coughing. And
What'd you say to me? Get up, go over to the
go.
paper basket and throw up, because that's what you're gonna do.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what I did, which was hysterical.
Before you cried out, no, I'm not gonna, no.
It was funny when I was under. I'm going to talk about this like on a
And
future
this
show.
isn't, he's not under. This is
Yeah,
just,
I'm not under. This is
just
totally straight.
Last evening.
It's just that I feel like I'm collecting the energy.
Yeah.
And I watch them like find little path corners in me.
Yep.
Right. And they go like, they'll open the door and it'll be like a dirty room, like a bathroom that's not clean or something. I'm like, what is that? And they're like, well, this is you, but we're going to clean it. I go, can I just give me a mop and a bucket? I'll clean
Yeah,
that
yeah,
right
yeah.
now. Like I didn't even notice this corner. They're like, that's where it hides.
Yeah.
In the corners,
Mhm.
right? Like we always clean the house, right? But
Yeah.
there's always that one corner somewhere
Of course.
that
It's
you're
got
like,
all that stuff behind
that's
it.
like a quarter inch of dust. When would I not see that? It's sitting right there on the corner,
Yeah.
right? So we clear this stuff out, which is funny. We're bringing this up because I haven't talked about the chakras in a while because there's a reason for that. I was asked not to, but I just want to share this with you guys quick. You may be the victim of these blocked chakras if you experience in your violet chakra. That's your crown chakra at the top of your head. It's violet, and it's number 7. It's feeling lonely, depressed, or fearful. The indigo, the third eye chakra, is number 6. Have eye problems, headaches, bad dreams, or lack of concentration.
Happens to me all the time.
The blue, throat chakra, chakra 5. Have sluggish metabolism or weak willpower, inability to express yourself. Green, heart chakra, chakra 4. Have a lack of self-love, experience instability, self-pity, or guilt. The yellow, solar plexus chakra, chakra number 3. Have an overblown ego or appetite, experience negative thinking, anger, or talking too much. We could both laugh at each other at that one. All right, orange, the sacred chakra, chakra 2. Feel self-rejection, low self-esteem, jealousy, blame, resentment, or materialism. And the red chakra, which is the root chakra, chakra number 1, experience self-centeredness, greed, or violence. Now, I'm glad it ended on that because I was a victim and still are to a lot of times every single one of these things.
Yeah, that was
Because it was meant to be. When we come back, we're just going to talk about people being subjected to this for a minute before we get into the story. We love you guys. Somebody's got to be the protection from deception around here.
You are now tuned into the truth frequency.
Your protection from deception. TFR.
Truth Frequency Radio.
Am I awake or is this a dream? It's a dream. It's a dream. A fantasy of where I'd rather be. So come and talk with me. Come and walk with me. Is this a wake-up call from my reality? Have you seen my friends? Have you seen my girl? Wake me up from this. I'm trapped in this world.
Back.
Okay, before you start everything, I have to say, you chat yourself, I truly love you, that you make me laugh every week and you get me in trouble all the time.
Love you guys so much. We got to have fun with it because it's crazy otherwise. You know, one of our friends, family member, DL, had an idea, an experiment. She's a scientific thinker. She believes, and so do we, that this absolutely will work if I have an eye experience or a session,
Mm-hmm.
and I put it out there and let everyone kind of know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And then you guys meditate during the experience at me, and we'll all go together.
Yeah, it's happened to me.
I know it happened to you.
Mhm.
It happens to you often.
Yeah.
You talk about purging at work.
Yeah.
Having these feelings of what's going on,
Yep.
calling, and it's just so funny that it's just at the right moment that this is going on. This happens with all of us,
Yeah.
our whole collective crew. So
yeah, that totally
those
can
who
happen.
don't drink Aya or can't do DMT or don't want it, I don't want to do a psychedelic. I just want to take the fearless journey. I'm fearless. I don't need a
Right.
plant medicine.
Mhm.
Okay, cool. You can do this.
Yeah.
Piggyback off of what we're doing, because you really what you're going to do is, for those that are stuck, are going to see,
Yes.
right? So you'll get the breakthrough. You're
Yes, because you're riding the wave
the other
of energy.
guy in you
Yes.
will know what's happening
Yes.
and go, oh, that's the code. So you'll be part of it no matter what. So if you're like, yo, I don't know what really happened, but I feel weird, or that felt nice, or some people will be fully connected. as I was starting to talk to William Wycrow, I was getting a little nervous panic attack. Like, oh, I could say anything right now. I could just ask any question in the world. And then I just heard, calm yourself and breathe.
Right.
And I saw his face, and it was funny because this happens to Chris and me all the time. You and me are connected like that, where I'll see the other character and it'll just start talking to me.
Right.
And I'll go, oh, there you are. And it's like, yeah, of course, there's no time and space. Like, that's an illusion. I can get to you no matter where you are, anywhere. Literally anywhere. In the deepest, darkest depths, yes.
Well, when we first met, you said I used to pop up around you.
You do all the time. It happens a lot when I drive. When I drive, I take a shower. Whenever there's like that quiet, silent time where you're meditating, you don't even realize you're doing it. Yeah, I'd watch driving and doing it, though. I've had to ask them to stop on multiple occasions because I could see the other guy.
Right.
And I go, look, I can't.
Yeah, I'm driving here.
Because where he's sitting and nothing's moving. He's just sitting in a room kind of projecting. And I'm like, hey. And he's like, hey. And I'm like, yeah, the road's moving. Like, I can't.
But I think that's also why those entities reach out and touch you also. I think you're thinking it's one thing, but I think they're just as curious as we are.
Well, anyone in this is in the illusion, whether you're on the spiritual side, that's still an illusion as well.
We are an illusion to them. So they're curious as well. You know, you've had quite a few entities here, reach out and touch you. And I know that that's not allowed. And, we put up a protection and we tell them they can observe.
Do it anyway.
But I think they're just so curious to see the life force that comes off.
It's interesting. You said to me, well, you could scare them too.
Yeah.
And that's why they're reacting. Yeah, I've showed up in front of them.
Reptilians that were walking through the kitchen.
Yes.
The one got scared and the other one told him, put your head down.
Yeah. They were gigantic, and one saw me and looked at me and then gave me that, what is that? And the other one just pushed him from behind, said, keep walking, just ignore him, just ignore it. It'll go away. And then they were all looking at me, but walking away from me. And I'm like, these things are gigantic. They could kill me. But I didn't get the sense that they would. They felt
but it's the same
like people,
thing.
Just people.
But it's the same thing.
Whether you're a lizard or
that close. They're right in, like, if you put your hand in front of your face.
They're in layers, like lenses.
We could do a video of this one night so they could see us because there's so many hand gestures you guys miss out on.
Well, I'm going to start doing some YouTube videos and
oh yeah, you are
yeah,
by yourself?
No, not by myself.
okay.
I'm going to interview someone like you and bring you on.
I got nothing to say.
She has plenty to say. So to continue with the storyline, because this is where it gets weird, but I think I say that a lot. This is where it gets weird. This is non-plant medication. I'm not on anything, nothing. And it takes place inside the apartment, just like she was just saying, things have come in here and touched you before, and we don't like that.
Right.
And you're off limits. And that's what this story is
about. We basically tell them you're not allowed to do that.
My Galactic Chakra open. We talked about it the last time. It was on the 4th get-together or the 5th get-together when Horus and Isis connected the loop with Christy and myself and with Zed watching. My Galactic Chakra open. It looked like a coin, this coin. And it was interesting. I seen that there wasn't much more to open up in that direction. And they said, you're going to be connected soon. Fully. Like, you'll be able to do that. But right now, you got I guess, everything from galactic in that definition through the spiritual realms and everything I can access, which is pretty interesting. So we're not free from having our issues, and I'm not going to ever dig into what was really going on, but we argue. We all argue. Me and my crew argue sometimes. Not bad, but it
happens.
I was in front of the computer. I'm reading right from this.
Okay.
I'm arguing with Christy. I put my head down in front of the computer, and I begin to see Christy in the room. I noticed the wall behind me was moving, and this black substance was being directed at her.
Like sludge.
Yeah. It was like the wall next to us right here turned black, and it looked like an ocean of black darkness, and it was like coming out and just like connecting to her, but it was like squirting on her, but it wasn't splashing. It was like hitting her and going into her. And I was like, oh no.
It's graphic.
I told her no matter what will happen. Now this is on the telepathic, I guess. But I told her no matter what happens, remember you're the light and so am I. And at that moment I can sense a change. You know, it's funny. I remember this really, really hardcore. I don't know what's going to happen. I'll feel it. I'll see something and I'll go, it's going down, and I'll say something like, yo, man, I love you. Like, where did that come from?
Yep.
And it's like, well, I don't know what's going to happen. And then plow. And it's like, oh, you just walked in the room like that.
Right.
Okay, that's how this is going to play out. You want to talk why my beard is completely white and never hit a shade of gray? Look, I'm crying. It's weird. I said, remember, you're the light and so am I. And at that moment, I could sense a change in the room. A dark being covered in the black substance with yellow eyes came from the wall and said, so you're the one calling himself the light. And I remember looking at him in the eyes, and it was a him voice. So I'll just say him. What do you think our ceilings are? 8 feet?
No, more than that.
9 feet? No, hold on. That's 8 feet.
It's not 8 feet. It's not 8 feet. It's higher than that. It's like, it's
coming from a girl who's 3 feet tall and can't touch. I'm standing and almost touching the ceiling.
I'm not 3 feet tall.
So this thing was the size of the, like, up to the ceiling.
Okay.
The substance stopped, like, directing at her and it came right at me. It just stopped squirting, like, in her direction, and then just right into my chest it hit me.
This story is making me angry.
Yeah, well, it should. This happened in your living room. It felt like two giant hands around my neck. I stumbled into the kitchen and let out a help me to Paula, and I started throwing up violently into the garbage pail in the kitchen. Mm-hmm. Okay, this was in the middle of the day. This was like 12:30 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
This is when you go, I didn't even finish my coffee. Like, because that's early for me still. Okay, and I had feelings of when I got sick that time when I was throwing up.
Yeah.
But it felt like a bigger guy just grabbed me by the neck and was able to, like, push me back and say, ha, 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 like laugh in my face and just start choking me. Yeah, that was weird. And I remember asking you for help. That's when it started getting weird for me. It started getting like I needed you. You were in the middle of just cooking. I remember you were chopping something and washing something.
Yeah, I was cooking in the kitchen. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I stumbled in there. Guys, this stuff is real. I have no desire to play out some fantasy with this or to mess with these things to the point where they're choking me around the room. But anything that will come near me and one of my friends, I'm going to be the first one probably to confront it. And I don't have an issue with that at all. But once again, something you do not expect. When the hell does this start happening? Right. But this is not my first time dealing with this black goo substance. And one of the things that they teach me, my allies, is you have to purge it out. You have to. You cannot hold anything in.
Nope.
So if you hold any of that in, you're going to get some kind of desired sickness effect.
You have to. You have to open your mouth and you have to breathe in through your nose and out hard through your mouth and just push it out of your mouth. I know it sounds ridiculous.
But once again, when it's happening, it seems impossible to do. Right? You see how I go through it. You're like, 100 times you've helped me. And 100 times, it's like almost like the first time. It's like, come on,
well,
dude.
that time when you got sick, I went back after you purged it. I kept cooking. I went back and I was finished doing what I was doing.
You were like shouting help to me at first before you came over and put your hand over me.
Yeah.
And I was like barely able to hear her voice in my head and to keep myself steady over the garbage pail. This thing was like manhandling me. It mugged me from my living room into my kitchen.
From the inside.
Yeah, it was like Mr. Fantastic or Plastic Man grew his arm, grabbed me by the neck, and then pushed me, growing his arm into the next room. I was stunned by this. And I sounded like a little kid. I remember like the help me was like get this thing off me. Okay. Paula helped a bit, and I was able to rush to the bathroom. Yeah, you ran your hand over my back, right? And you started saying, "Get out."
Yeah, get out. Yeah. It's a whole mantra that I say. I'm not going to say it on the air.
Everybody's going to just start throwing up.
Yeah, every single time this happens.
You should purge everyone's monsters
that's
live
my
on there.
disclaimer. Yeah.
This is my disclaimer. Blah. I was able to rush to the bathroom. As I started throwing up again, I was being laughed at.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's when I left, and I was screaming from out here, don't let it talk to you like that.
What a weird day this was this Saturday.
I get
right?
it. Like, believe it or don't, it doesn't matter. But believe it or don't, but it's true. It's true.
Guys, this stuff is real. I'm going to say it over and over again to you that a lot of us have come in contact with either the AI or a demon or an ET, whether it was in a daydream or a sleep. That's your consciousness roaming, doing things. Whether you've seen it for real with your eyes open or laid down and then couldn't get up. It's going on, and it's happening to a lot of us. And if you're listening to the show, most likely everything's going on with you. And I don't like being laughed at because there's this feeling of being like, when
inadequate.
Inadequate.
Yeah.
Like when a child attacks you, like a 2-year-old, he just wants to wrestle with you, and you could just use one hand and hold him back.
It's embarrassing. Yeah.
And he's just running around in his diaper like, I don't know what to do, but one day I'll be big enough to beat you. And you're like, shut up, right? There's that. You're on the other side.
Yeah, like you're the one. Yes, you're the one it's happening to.
And it's almost like you're being bullied, man, and it's really not cool. So now I'm purging. I'm throwing up my guts.
Never happens to me, not one time here, Frank. I mean, this is like number 57 here. I can't even count them anymore.
I got to admit, some of you, especially Paula, and I know there's others of you out there like her, are so grounded to a degree that your help doesn't. You're not needed to fix your shielding because it just flows.
Yep.
It's no issue. It's like, no, that stuff's not going to affect me. And people like me who go the distance and could just step out of it and go crazy, no protection.
Well, it's always on. It's not no protection.
I'm like a superhero that doesn't have an outfit with body armor on.
Because
you can lift a mountain, but if you punch him, you'll knock him unconscious.
No, it's because you are the guy. You were that kid that had to push every button in the elevator and touch every spinning pin and wheel and this and that. And if it was a trick, you had to pick it up and put it in your pocket. You are so fascinated with things that the energy that you give off, I think that's what makes these entities so excited, because they see that spark in you and that want to see in you, and that doesn't happen. A lot of people don't give off the same energy. It's like you want to be fascinated and you want to be wowed, and you would understand and expect more than the normal person if you saw a comic book or a superhero-like type experience, because you've been waiting for one your whole life. That's why you've been driven and guided by comic books and superheroes and things out of the ordinary and extraordinary. It all set you up for now, because you can't go from crunching numbers and believing that you die in the end to Frank Castle. You know what I mean? Like, you don't make that jump. You have to start I'm
going to be honest. If I didn't see some of the stuff from the comic books or whatever books I've read.
No, you would not have been able to receive all of this information now, to understand it. It would freak the shit out of you.
Yeah, I would have had a heart attack.
Yes, absolutely. Definitely. That's what I'm saying. You can't go from one to the other. Your mother did such a good job allowing you and your brother to be creative and instilling that magic in things, and providing an atmosphere where you can really, anything was possible.
Absolutely.
With Star Wars and all
fantasy.
and fantasy and the comic books and superheroes.
Don't be afraid to think.
Yeah, don't be, or not even think. Don't be afraid to dream.
To dream big.
Because when you start to dream, anything can happen, because it already has happened.
And if your dreams feel like they're scaring you, you're not dreaming big enough.
Because it's already all happened.
It's all
you
gravy.
Just gotta tap into it.
You are good enough to do it, and there is enough to share with everyone. You know, so these beings, they attack you at your chakra points. This is how I'm going to connect it back to the chakras.
Oh, yeah, they do. Because sometimes it's in your head area.
Mm-hmm.
And then sometimes you get attacked in your heart area.
Or your injury if you have an injury.
Yeah, and then sometimes you, in particular, get attacked in your sacral area.
Yes. But then again, I've told my story over and over again when I was younger. The issue I had with women, right? Being ragdolled by a chick at when I was like 14, and the girl was like 23 years old. And she just like held me down and said all these horrible things and kind of tried to have her way with me. And it sent me over the deep end at such a young age. And I never cleared it out.
But you never talked about it until the last couple of years.
Right. No, yes, you're right. Absolutely. But this is where they attack you at these points. Right? So these things that we're just infinite, awesome creator beings.
Right.
These things show up and they attack those points that are weak because, all right, greed or violence or self-rejection, low self-esteem, jealousy, blame. They wait for you to just go,
And they ride that wave.
Yeah, they come in on that.
They ride that energy.
Right into your system. That's how they get in. Boom, they get it, and that's at the back door. It's made specifically for that. All right, this is where the dilemma starts. Now, if you think this is crazy, this is going to get insane. For me, I thought it was a saving grace. As the story progresses in the next few weeks, you'll learn that not everything is what it's meant to be. I was hugging the bull for dear life, right? And Anubis and Horus, they arose out of the density right in front of me.
Yeah, this one you gotta.
And I went, "Oh, really you guys! I was never expecting this."
Yeah.
I was hugging and begging for help, begging, please, somebody help me. You guys are with me all the time.
Yeah.
Now you're going to play the game with me. No one's going to show up. And they came. They were like, we're here. Okay, now I'll go back. He rose up. All right. Horus rose up before me, Anubis, and my light being that was being born to me. And I talked about this a few episodes ago. I had a DMT experience on top of the Aya experience that born in this light being that was saying it was coming to me, being born into the density. It has to come closer to me. Like it just can't connect like that. Like it just doesn't dive in from the top realm.
Right.
It has to be born into cycles. So it was there. And I go, oh, light being. And I go to touch it. And the two, Horus and Anubis, started attacking my light being. And started when I mean they beat him, I felt horrible because I was watching my guys beat this other thing away from me.
Right.
And I'm going, what are you doing? And they're like, no. Look, you're going to need to make a choice right now. And it's the only way this is going to work. And I'm like, okay, what do I do? What do I do? They're like, you can't touch that thing yet.
Right.
You can't connect to that yet. Your Horus's connection, right? If you connect to that, it's going to descramble the code that Horus needs to come in. That's exactly what they were explaining to me. Like Horus is going to jump into my body, and I'm Horus.
Right.
So I'm like, that's weird because I'll just tell the story as I know it.
It's not
at that
weird.
point.
Yeah.
Okay, so you just follow the story with me because it'll reveal itself later. And I said, okay, because this is what I wanted. These guys have been protecting me my whole time.
Right.
So the black stuff, all right, I told the light being, get back. And it looked at me like I was crazy. Like, why would you do that? And I'm like, you have to go back. And I opened this little area and I said, you go there. Don't touch anything.
Right.
They stopped hitting him and turned and started hitting the black substance. They were hitting it and it was just flying away from me. It was trying to spray me like a rain. And they just they had these stabs made of light and they were just shining them and swinging them. And this thing started disintegrating. And I'm like, oh, thank God. Oh God. Right. So this is what I wrote. The light being tried to merge with me, and I felt that I could not trust him. Horus asked me to make the choice, either merge with him or just become Horus. I chose Horus. And both he and Anubis backed the light being off and smashed the dark being back with
Right.
powerful staffs of light. The dilemma of merging with the light being who wanted to merge with me first, then Horus. It would have corrupted my transformation. I was told I could not help anymore unless I couldn't help Christy anymore until she makes her choice.
Right. She has to make her decisions before you go any further.
Right. So I was no longer allowed to help unless she makes a choice to do whatever work it is she needs to do. And that's her personal business. Right. And we all have our own path that we're on.
Right.
And I was angry. I was pissed, weak, confused. I wrote it down. I was like, what do you mean I can't trust the light being? Why would Aya send me on that path?
Right.
For you guys to step in and beat the crap out of them and send them back. But you're always protecting me. You guys from day one have been with me.
Right.
What is going on here?
Right.
Why? All right. And then they help me. Something's going on.
Right.
I know my monkey mind, my flesh mind can be tricked easily. I know as a true son of Atlantis, we've been tricked originally because we were naive.
Right.
So this game that's being played.
Right.
You're not going to win if you join the game of the gods. Not as a man. I don't believe you can do that. But I believe as the other guy, as the more, as the super consciousness. I believe you can avoid the game because it's you, the creator. You can rise above the game of the gods by being the true creator source.
But that's what I think I do. It doesn't matter to me whether I play or don't. Like, you know, the things that you see and experience and the things that I am fortunate enough to be a part of here amaze me enough. But I particularly myself don't think I need to see what you see to believe it, because I'm proof that you can believe it before you see it. Because in the beginning,
that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, when you're telling me about these things, I mean, I could say, Frank, you sound crazy, you know, stop lying. But that's not the case because I know it to be true.
See, that's the thing. Everyone is a critic of everyone else's universe. Or, you know, does the world revolve around you? Why, yes, it does.
Yeah, in my universe, it does.
You know?
It does revolve around me.
So I'm the main player in my game.
Right. This is my movie.
So another reason why they have us separated to share this knowledge and to share the story is just pure insanity. But am I the first guy to do this? No, not even close. This has been going on, as the Bible will tell you, we're only around 10,000 years or something like that. And I'm telling you, we've never not been around. And this has been going on for billions of years. And we've been doing it all since the beginning.
Yeah.
You've never not been. So what are you talking about? And I know that's hard to grab onto, but for those of you that don't take the plant medicines to go take the FearLess journey, connect to me. Let's do it. My YouTube channel has my meditation playlist.
Yeah,
literally go to my meditation playlist.
Go in and listen to it. It's amazing.
And the I think the third one on there, it's Shiva Nava from the Desert Dwellers. From there down, I just listen all day, all the time.
Yeah, we listen when we're cooking. You know,
you put that on and take a couple of deep breaths and connect and say, "I want to do this," and I'm sure we're gonna all hook up. The music.
Yeah, it's time.
Wow.
It's time.
Well, at least I got the story out tonight.
You did.
Watch out for those dark beings. Don't give them any credibility, and when they show up, rise to the occasion and show them the light. You know, Paul, it was great doing the show with you tonight.
It really worked, baby.
That's right. We're your protection
From deception.
Yeah, boy. Stay up.